Welcome everyone. Today I'm going to discuss about some of the important aspects and major important aspects is quantum computing. Can you open your camera please? Okay, thank you. So for quantum computing, quantum and promise to change the computing landscape in near future. For example, cracking encryption that would take millions of years on a current supercomputers could be done in seconds on a quantum computer. This is no longer science fiction. The wave has shifted several quantum computers, and IBM announced that they will have a quantum computer within 2 years. Quantum network encryptions and quantum key exchange is available today via various companies. This presentation will help people understand quantum computing, how it works, what is available now, and what the future may bring. Four type of computers: digital computers, von Neumann architects, arrange work and analog single using register, capacitors and indicators to solve different equations, panel distribution process, memory process, connectivity are all massively distributed, work on qubits, quantum, intangible bit more information. So, dear students, we will discuss about quantum computing, and today we will do some research on quantum computing. So, when we do some research on quantum computing, so our job is we will uh, like give presentations, 5 minutes presentation everyone, and we will discuss about quantum computing. Digital computer. Good at integer-based math, rule-based expert system, digital image processing, logic. Not good at think like factoring large primes, traveling salesman problem, solving distributed differentiation equation, pattern recognition, unconstrained contract problem, etc. Analog computer. Good at simulating differentiate equations, not good at things like Excel answer, logic, pattern, recognition, and constraints control problem. Quantum computers, good at solving certain classes of problem like factoring large prime, random walks, unordered data retrieval, etc. Not good at things like exact answer, logic, pattern recognition, and constraint control problem. Parallel distributed process, good at parallel recognition, unconstrained control problem, imaginations, innovation, etc. Not good at things like math, logic, reasoning, etc. What quantum computing can do? Factor prime. Encryption algorithm like RSA, SSL, etc. are based on the fact that factoring large primary would take millions of years on a supercomputer. Quantum computer could do this in minutes. Secure communications. Quantum-based networking allows perfectly secure communication. Any evas dropping on the signal, destroying the signal. Hence, quantum networks are perfectly secure and invulnerable to hijacking. Solve a variety of problems that are hard for digital computer. Random walk problem and classes of NP problem may be traceable with quantum computer. Solve quantum machines material science problem. What better to solve quantum machines problem than a quantum computer? But they are not a penis. They will not replace digital computer for day-to-day tasks. We will still need digital computer. How quantum computing work? Qubits rely on quantum entanglement. First, we need to talk about superpositions of quantum state. Let's start with Scardian's wave equations. Quantum superposition and project management. How your quantum computer prototypes coming alone. The project exists in a simulations state of being both totally successful and not even started. Can I observe it that a tricky question? Quantum engagement. Intent practical seems to communication state information instantaneously even if they are separated by a great distance. Einstein called this spooky action at a distance. Einstein simplified. It is as if there is spooky connection that instantaneously tells one intangible practice that state of the other intangible practice, no matter how far apart they are. Quantum enrichment. But how do we know that there are not just some hidden variables or hidden dimensions? Bell's provide that superimposed view of mechanics. The math is a little hard than we can demonstrate the basic idea with some coin. Quantum enlistment. But you still have not told me what a qubit is. What the hack is it? A qubit is a quantum intangible bit of information, just like a bit is a 1 or a 0. A qubit is two intangible states that either could be 1 to 0, but is both 1 and 0 at the same time. Typically, a qubit is an intangible part of phons, electrons, and neutron. The intangible part is the spin of the practice. The spin can be measured with on electromagnetic fields and can be manipulated with a pulse of radio frequency energy and measures via a light paralyzer. Qubit example, because the practicals are in superimposed state, it takes four number to specify the state of these two intangible practice, where in a binary system it only takes two numbers. More energy, a quantum computer with 9 spin requires 2 in number to describe the state of the system. Enormous quantum power. A 64-bit computer can perform manipulations on 64-bit binary numbers at a time. A 64-qubit quantum computer operates in a space of 2 multiplied by 64 dimension. Using cleverly crafted quantum algorithms and quantum gates, the computations can happen in the enormous space is parallel. It is as if all of the answer will bring evaluation simultaneously and the number system freezes out the right answer from the vast space. Standard computing versus computing. Standard computing versus quantum. Standard computing versus quantum. These are some of the good examples. So Shor algorithm, an algorithm that runs on a quantum computing that finds the prime factor of a number n and does it in polynomial time. What would take a normal supercomputer tens of millions of the year can be done in minute on a quantum computer. Since most encryption algorithms such as PGP and RSA rely on a public key which is composed of the two large prime, quantum computer could crack then encryption in minimum rather than millions of years on a digital computer. Using the properties of the quantum entanglement, quantum communication is immune to man in the middle inverse drop. Anyone try to listen to the communication break the entanglement, renderings the inverse drop are useless. Quantum computing, these are some of the good examples that we can follow. Commercial QKD is the more than a decade old. Several computers are offering commercial quantum key distribution system. IQ Quantum, uh, several other companies also have an active research group, including Tishiak, HP, IBM, Mitsubishi, NEC, and NTT. In 2004, the world first bank transfer using quantum key distribution was carried out to the Vienna, Australia. This is the science fiction. D-Wave already has quantum announcing computing. D-Wave computings. This is very, very good and advanced research. Uh, research, quantum announced computing, anon quantum computing, universal quantum computing. Quantum annealing. The quantum annealers is the largest power and most restrictive form of quantum computer. It is the easiest to build yet can only perform on specific function. The consensus is that a quantum annihilation has uh, no nose advantage over conventional computing. Both a very specialized form of quantum computing with unproven over conventional computing. D-Wave is one example. Google claims a particular problem was solved 300 times faster than conventional computer. Analog. The analog quantum computer will be able to simply simulate complex quantum interactions that are intraceable for any known conventional computer. It is conjectures that analog quantum computer will contain between 50 to 100 qubits. Universal quantum. The universal quantum computer is the most powerful, the most general, the harder to build. It poses a tremendous number of technical challenges, only about 8,000 established to the crack RSA. So these are some of the very good example of quantum computing. There is a good chance about quantum computer will be able to crack RSA 2048 within 5-10 years. Some encrypted data has a shelf life is more than 10 years. It may take in 10 years to cut over to a new encryption schemes. So companies and government are scramblers to figure out what to do. Most encryption used today is not safe in a quantum computer. If someone has been recording a HTTP session, say that may not be able to decrypt is now it now, but in new years from now. There are encryption algorithms that are safe. Secure communications will move to symmetric encryptions or the hash algorithm, perhaps Latin algorithm. These are the very very interesting aspects of quantum computing, and as a researchers and we have to know what's going on. We have to know how actually quantum computing can help us to advance our technology, how quantum computing can helps to develop our uh, views and everything. So I want to invite Humaira. Humaira, can you share something about IELTS listening test?
I'll just listening. Okay.
Yes.
Uh, in listening, uh, you have to catch audio. Do you understand?
Okay, okay.
You have to just catch an audio, so your concentration is very important. Otherwise, what they are saying you cannot catch. Uh, that moment you have can take some notes. Maybe you will get a booklet and a pen to write it what they are saying, and then you have to write it on your script. Oh, I'm very sorry, because you can get a script, so you don't need to use a booklet. You can directly answer on your script. So, in that situation, your listening have to improve. Otherwise, you cannot catch, because their pronunciation is quite difficult. Not like us, the simple words, simple sentence. It's not like that. Sometimes it is very fast that you cannot pick up the words. So I think your sir Sharif already explained everything clearly. So okay, actually, today I just want to introduce one book. Is can you see? It's Cambridge. Sharif, can you see?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So this is Cambridge Essential Grammar in Use, Raymond Murphy. Have you ever read this book or practice any grammar book? Anyone?
Dear students, do you use Cambridge and do you use grammar
IELTS?
book?
Sorry, can you show it again? The book.
Yes, sure. Yes, sure. Just a minute. I have a problem with the screen share.
Okay, I think Humaira will join again. But my questions, let's say, how many of you actually regularly practice IELTS? Can you share your experience? Who want to come first? Mr. Peace?
Okay.
Mr. Peace? Yes. How many of you actually use regularly do IELTS practice?
Hello, thank you very much, Mr. Lecturer. We are trying to catch up on the audio, even though we still have time to go through listening and improve our catch up on the audio or listening. So that's what maybe I can say. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Peace?
Yes. I was going to say that I do some practice on YouTube. There is some teachers that will teach how the method used so that you can achieve some with high band. So they use some step, common error in grammar, and yes, I'm just following those YouTube channels so that it can help me to to listen
Uriwangi,
and
there is a noise from your side. That's why I muted. Uriwangi, there is a noise from your side. Mr. Peace?
yes, I continue.
Yeah.
I was saying that I use YouTube YouTube channels of English teachers that used to teach and to show how some
I
tricks,
request everyone, please open your camera.
mm, some tricks used in ITS exam, and, and see how students used to respond with, with those teachers. That is all I can say about ITS.
Okay, anyone want to share about your experience of IELTS? Uriwangi?
Okay. I'm sorry that suddenly I was disconnected.
Okay. Can you share what you want to share? You can share with us.
Actually, they just want to see the book. It's Cambridge. It's Cambridge Essential Grammar in Use. So I just want to tell you, my dear students and uh, Sir Sharif, that this 30 minutes or 40 minutes is uh, not enough to get a good score. So I believe that you are the real hero. You directly fight with this pandemic. So we can learn many things from you. What experience you face, what difficulties you face during the situation, and still, the world and we are fighting, everyone, right? So, so you are facing many challenges. So I believe that if you work hard, you can achieve the score. Everyone here,
Thank you.
welcome.
Devotee, you want to share? Diani, what you want to share with us? Diani, can you open your camera and share with us what you want to guide your student for IELTS? Devotee? Yes, Diani?
Thanks, Mr. President. Maybe I'm going first to apologize due to my voice. Flu had hacked me. So uh, I would like to urge students uh, to work hard by listening, reading, as Shumaria had advised. I think some of us we have dictionary, we have some books which can help us to improve, particularly listening. Yes, listening is it can be more helpful, particularly during interview. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Devotee?
Thank you. First of all, I'm sorry it is raining. What I can say, to pass this exam, everybody must be interested on reading newspapers and listening news and try to understand the vocabulary used in IELTS. Um, it is better. It can be helpful and be concentrated on what we learn because it's very important. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I want to give you a task like we discussed about quantum computing today. So I want to know what you learned today, what you learned about quantum computing. Mr. Peace.
Thank you. Quantum computing is an advanced technology that was in a history, but today is in practice. It is a computer with who that can read a big solution algorithm and can be used in secure communication and solve some variety problems. That's the key of the quantum computer, I can say.
Mabiani, what you want to share about quantum computing? Mr. Robert. Mr. Robert, can you unmute and share about you? Yes.
Hello, sir. Anyway, I was saying that some of us, we are trying to catch up with the audio. When you're speaking, we are trying to catch some information, even though we still have time to continue getting when you speak to get some information. Maybe I can say we are trying. Thank you very much.
Okay. Devotee, what you learned today about quantum computing?
Okay, thank you. What I learned today, quantum computing, first of all, is a system used in quantum program used in a different system where we find there are many types of computer where we find there's digital computer, analog, quantum, and parallel distributed process. Today we find there are many areas we can use quantum computing where commercial use it in IBM. Quantum computing also used in healthcare, financial, and transport. That's in summary what we learned today in Quantum. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Uriwangi.
Hello everyone. What I learned today, I learned how quantum computer works. What we see is that and the also we learn what quantum computer can do. It can solve a variety of problems. It can also secure our communications, also factor prime. What I learned also, I learned types of computers. We see digital computers, we see analog computers, we see quantum computers, and the parallel distributed processors. I think I learned that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Humaira, what you want to share about reading? Reading. For reading test. Unmute, please.
Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. For reading, there are some passages, comprehension. Do you have any idea about comprehension?
No, you share. Share your idea.
Okay. Comprehension is it's a passage containing 1,000 to 1,500 words. There is a short story, and you have to. After that, there are some questions. You have to answer the question according to the comprehension. So in this case, I said earlier that vocabulary is very important. Otherwise, you cannot understand, because if your vocabulary is not good enough, then you cannot answer all the question properly. So I have a Cambridge vocabulary for IELTS. You see my book, students?
Yes, we can see. Yes,
Okay,
we can see.
Thank you. I have many books with me. Okay, and now internet, by using mobile, using computer, we can learn many things. It's easier. But still, I love to read books, because if you really want to learn something, there is no alternative. So you have to increase the vocabulary. And there are a passage, for example, reading passage. I think I can share like these types of passage. Then you have to answer after reading the passage carefully. And in listening part, you have also answer with passage. In listening, you will hear a recorded passage, then you have to answer. So again, the old question, how many of you have the passport? Do you have passport of Rwanda? Anyone?
To me, I don't have.
Okay, what about
To me,
others? Okay.
But
Devotee?
sorry for
Then
answer.
please.
But,
I haven't.
the system in Rwanda to get a passport is very easy. You can get it.
Okay, that's good.
2 weeks.
Because
No
without
problem.
passport, you
Because Humaira, just a moment. Humaira asking you, this is not her personal interest.
Yes.
I do not know about anything about Rwanda.
Yeah.
When you can attend the exam, what is your plan? Do you have any plan? Any date? Anything? That's why she requests, because this is not like you need passport, we want your passport. No, this is because that when you want to go for like registration for your IELTS, this is one of the requirement, and you have to go fast. So thank you, Mr. Peace. Thank you, Mr. Mabiani, Devotee, Uriwangi. Thank you for joining today. Thank you, Humaira. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you
take
very
care.
much. Thank you.
Bye.